Have you ever been thinking about how vanilla Minecraft isn't really realistic? Well, this mod pack makes it very realistic. Realistic to the point where we had to go to a Wikipedia page to see where a mineral spawns in real life to find it in game. From realistic tree felling to a whole new food and mining system and a very different endgame. This is TerraFirmaGreg, and I decided to embark on this journey with a friend. So come and witness this great journey. So first of all, as you can see, there are a few changes that have been made to this world. You can see there are rocks on the ground, the grass looks a bit different, and the trees are a bit of a different color. But in general, I'd say everything looks more alive. Here I am harvesting some garlic. Food has been completely revamped in this mod pack. There are many different foods to cook. So let's leave that for a bit later once we're actually hungry. But there's no time to waste, the night is fast approaching, and in this mod pack you can't see anything during the night without a light source, so we need to get a fire quick. Now, I can't just go up to a tree and punch it to get wood because, you know, that would be unrealistic. So I have to pick up some rocks that I can then nap into an axe hatchet. There are multiple recipes for napping, and it's mostly the stone tool heads. After I nap the axe head, then I combine that with a stick I pick up from the ground, and boom, we have an axe. Now, unlike in vanilla Minecraft, this thing has gravity, so it's gonna fall to the ground, so I need to be careful so I don't die within the first 30 seconds of joining this world. Sadly, we can't just make a crafting table because, let's be real, you ain't that tough. Damn, Steve got nerfed in this mod pack. Anyway, to make a crafting table, you need a saw. And there is no stone saw, so the earliest we can get is a copper one. So yeah, until we get copper tools, we can't even make a crafting table. Okay, pause. For the next part and some others, stuff gets a bit nerdy, but don't worry, I'm stupid, so if I could understand this, I'm sure you can too. Okay, so on the ground here, you can see me pick up an ore. This ore is malachite. Luckily, Steve put all of his remaining stats into intelligence, so when I shift click on this, you will see a pie chart up here which shows the chemical composition of the ore. There are many different ores with different chemical compositions. Big words, I know, please keep breathing. We can see that malachite is made out of 50% oxygen, 20% copper, 20% hydrogen, and 10% carbon. So on the bottom, we can also see what this piece of ore would melt into. Since copper is the only metal in this ore, it of course melts into copper. Okay, also one more thing. If you aren't familiar with liquids in Minecraft, let me give you a quick tutorial. So, liquid is measured in buckets, so a iron bucket has 1 bucket or 1,000 millibuckets of liquid. No You can take liters as an example, or for you weirdos who use imperial, I don't know, just deal with it. Anyway, 1 ingot has 144 millibuckets of liquid. This piece of malachite melts into 16 buckets, so a bit of simple math tells us that 9 times 16 equals 144, so this is luckily a perfect ratio, and if you take 9 malachite, you get enough liquid to make 1 copper ingot. Luckily, this is a perfect ratio, but don't worry, we'll have to pull out a calculator very soon. Thank God you're not the ones calculating this. It's Philip. That's why I have him, by the way. He's my calculator.
TFG also includes a progressive quest system, which is your how-to guide to progression from the Stone Age all the way to the Space Age. Because no one knows everything about the mod pack and all its complexities, there is this nifty little book that we always refer to, which is a Wikipedia article of sorts, which tells you everything about the way from how the world is set together, to what plants grow where and how to grow them, to progression mechanics such as anvils, aqueducts, and the similar. Because darkness was fast approaching, we decided to set up camp next to a pond where we could drink water from and set up our first farms. We also decided to tame the most important tool of the playthrough, which is fire. In TFG, you can create a fire pit by throwing 1 log and 3 sticks together in a pile and using a fire starter to wrap 2 sticks together and ignite the whole thing. That creates a fire pit, which is the first source of fire and light we get.
Oh, and this gives us the access to torches, which we can make by just burning sticks in the fire.
You're not gonna eat garlic, son.
Why not? Can it not grow? Is it too hot?
Too hot.
You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. It is too hot to grow garlic. You can see this information on two different locations. One, if you hover over a plant that's planted in the ground, you can see a pop-up window on the top of your screen which shows if it's happy with its hydration and its temperature. The more detailed information is however found in the field guide, as Philip mentioned before. Here you can see the entry for garlic. You can see that it grows in temperatures from -20 to 18 degrees Celsius. It has an average hydration between 15 and 75%, meaning you can't actually plant it next to water because it will be too hydrated. Plants don't really care what season it is as long as the temperature is okay, which is why this area we are in, subtropical, is actually one of the best places to grow plants because it is around 15 degrees Celsius all year round. Sadly, garlic is not accessible to us as it is too hot and is meant more for cold areas. Let's compare it to carrots, for example, which can grow with up to 30 degrees Celsius heat and has a very wide hydration range, which is perfect. Next to each plant, you can also see its nutrition. For now, this is unimportant since we can't fertilize our plants, but later this is very important as we can add specific nutrients to the soil to increase the growth and productions of our plants.
Some people might have already noticed the little temperature indicator next to the fire. It shows what temperature the fire is currently burning at. Sadly, our little campfire can't burn hot enough for us to be able to melt metal with it, which would enable us to pour it into different molds to get different tools such as saws or pickaxes out of it. So we need to make a pit kiln, which is an old way of working with metal where you put the metal into a vase, bury it with straw and logs and light the whole thing on fire. It can reach quite high temperatures and that enables it to melt metal, which means we can use that to melt the metal and pour it into molds.
As the pit kiln takes 8 minutes to finish, we had some time to burn. I crafted some hoe heads and started expanding the farm and making the base a bit bigger. Alongside regular crops, there are also trees and bushes that you can plant and farm, one of which was right next to our base. It was a cherry tree. Since it was nearby and it was already ending its harvest season, I decided I might as well collect it because it's not going to produce any more cherries. The way to harvest any tree like this is to cut it at the branch so that it will drop a sapling, which it otherwise would not have. You can then take these saplings and replant them to grow another tree. These trees don't grow like normal saplings would. Instead, they grow as little branches that slowly grow over time. Unlike regular crops, trees and bushes care about the season and annual rainfall and not hydration. They can also be spliced so you can determine how big the tree is going to be, and it also allows you to have a tree with multiple different fruits on it.
The pit kilns are not only used for melting metal, they're often also used for hardening pottery products. In our first pit kiln, we had to harden some pottery first, such as several molds for tools, such as a shovel mold, an axe mold, and a pickaxe mold. Apart from the molds, we also made two other very important items for the early game, namely the vessel, which will hold all the metals we melt in the pit kiln so they don't flow into the ground, and the large vessel, which is the first item you can use as a container. It's also the best way to store food early game, as its special ability makes it able to preserve food.
After that, Philip went to get more ores. Meanwhile, I, since we were out of clay, went to mine some. You retain it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought you. Oh.
Okay.
This one's not. This one, if you hit this one, it will kill you, right?
Wild flora.
Oh! Oh! Help me! They are not indeed passive or farmable. Why did he just do that?
Ramming animations do that from time to time. It's the same as a board.
Oh my god, that is not okay. Oh my god, please. We need to kill that thing.
I mean, how much health I had from clock.
Does he care?
He just does not care. He does care.
Run, 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 run! Oh my god. Does he ram into me like that then? Oh, we can just like passively delete him. Sure. You thought that was a good idea.
He's basically dead.
Come over, come over, come over.
He's on 2.5 hearts.
Yeah, and I'm on 1 heart.
He's dead.
Let's go in. Oh my god. Bomba. Yes! How much? 14? Oh! Oh! Oh!
After that accident, we had to start working on getting the saw, so I made a few more holes for pit kilns. The second batch contained a lot more useful items. We made 2 more large vessels, 2 more jugs so we could carry water with us, ingot molds, and finally, the most important one being the saw mold.
We decided to skip the copper tools and go directly for bronze tools. But sadly, we didn't have the right ore composition in our area to make some proper bronze, so we decided to go to bismuth bronze, which is an alternative version of bronze. Its composition is 50% copper, 20% bismuth, and the rest is made out of zinc.
$144, yes! Oh my god, I have it perfect, yes!
When the pit kiln finished with our bismuth bronze, we were able to take out the vessel in which the bismuth bronze was and start casting. Although there is a small danger incorporated with that because the vessel was hot, so you have to take tongs in your oven so you don't directly touch the hot pottery. Once the mold fills with 144 millibuckets of bismuth bronze, it's done and it can be thrown into the water so it cools off faster. Once the tool heads cool off, you just have to remove them from the mold, and from there it's easy to make a tool out of it. Just combine it with a stick.
Crafting the saw and pickaxe was a major step in progression. The pickaxe allowed Philip to actually start mining instead of just collecting rocks on the surface, while the saw allowed us to make a crafting table. Finally, with the access to planks and a 3x3 crafting grid, we were finally able to get chests. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it this far, you are amazing. This is the first episode of the TFG series that me and Phil are going to be making. You can expect the second episode to come out in about a week because I want to have a life and don't want to just edit. I know my editing isn't great so far, but I'll improve with time, I guess. And yeah, let's see where the journey takes us. Bye bye.